All right, let's talk about the arpeggiator section here, because there's a bunch of things going on that are helpful to know. So right now it's off. If I play notes on my MIDI keyboard, I just trigger the corresponding slice, which is straightforward enough. If I turn this on and hit forward, let me turn the swing off for a second. It'll just cycle forward. If I hit reverse, it goes backwards. This restart button says, do you want to start all the way at the end, or conversely, all the way at the beginning, and always go back to that position, which is what it will do. If you turn that off, it picks up where it left off. So a small thing, but it can make a difference depending on what you're doing. PP stands for ping pong. So as you can see, it's going to go all the way to the end. Then it's going to reverse and go backwards. So ping pong, it goes back and forth, right? And then there's random, which is going to jump around. Okay. All right. Then we have the sync mode. So there's 3 modes. Sync is just going to be a subdivision of the project tempo. If you want to put swing on it, you can. Right. Straightforward enough. If you like what it did, you hit this drag MIDI thing, and it will show you the last 32 bars of whatever happened. So if there's something cool that you want to reproduce, you might have to cut it out of here, but the notes are there. Then you could turn this off and then just trigger it with the MIDI directly. I'm not going to do that right now, and I will also clear that out. So if you know you're trying to capture something, that's good to know too. You can clear the buffer, play a couple things, right? Then drag this out, and then there you go. There are your notes. But let's explain some of the other modes. So we have free, which is pretty self-explanatory. It can go very fast. So again, depending on if you want to do some crazy granular thing with this, you probably could. Not today. But then this is the most interesting mode to me, this slice length mode. So if I turn quantize off. So if you had like an ambient sample or something, you could hear what it does. It's going to play the longer slices to be longer and the shorter slices to be shorter. It's based on the slice length. And if you scale this up, it will trigger less frequently. If you scale it down, it triggers more frequently. All right, so let me just put it back to 0. Now, like I was alluding to, for something like an ambient sample, you might want something that's not in time with the DAW clock. Maybe you want something that's kind of like offset. For something rhythmic like this with drums, I would want it on the grid. So you can hit quantize. So then if I, let me just stop some of my other samples here. If I start the transport, the metronome, you hear how it's generating rhythms now, but they're not all landing on the beat. Some of them are on the second 16th note, or the third one, or the third and fourth one, or you're getting little patterns of things depending on how the slice length is interacting with the grid. And you can change it, Something like this is cool because you can scale it down to get a true 30-second note, or you can scale it up to get more off the beat stuff with like the occasional 30-second note thing. I'm just going to leave this on 16ths for now. And you can swing this too, which is always fun. Let me actually put some swing on here. And then, so there's a couple ways I could use this. One way, which I have prepared here, is, well, let me show you this way first. The simplest thing you could do is this. You just draw a single MIDI note in your DAW or your arrangement. Maybe you automate this so it does something interesting. The example that I was messing around with is just one of my other loops from the Vision Magnet pack. And instead of a single long MIDI note, I'm triggering it kind of intermittently. Let me put this back at 0. So you can hear this with some samples. So there's a couple ways you could think about using this. I mean, one way is you sit there. I mean, I could maybe mute this. I'll just play my loop. Stop that. I'm just triggering it with a controller. And then whatever the arpeggiator does after that is whatever it does. You could also set up your DAW arpeggiator before this thing and use that to trigger the internal one. So you're using some fixed subdivision to trigger this slice length thing, which is going to be variable. That might be an interesting use case of things. Or you could, and we'll get to this in a different video, is using these modulators and mapping it to the subdivision. And then triggering it that way to get more variation. So that's just a couple ideas that you can use to play with this arpeggiator to generate. And this is like really the core of the plugin that I'm the most excited about, is using it to generate rhythmic ideas quickly. So hopefully that's some food for thought and you find some inspiration in that. Check out the rest of the videos in the series and you'll learn more about how to use the plugin and things you can do with it. Thanks.